one is about going home, which is where you're from.
How do the stingrays all know where to go?
Instinct, something deep inside you that feels so familiar that you have to listen to it.
My mom, my dad, I have a family.
Hey guys, welcome back to Critic and Fan, and we are here reviewing the movie Finding Dory. And I know you're probably wondering what the heck is going on, and Rob right now is in Los Angeles right now, and I'm in Philadelphia, and I'll be here for another 2 months. And I mean, it's a little tough time schedule wise, but we finally were able to meet via the internet. And but for right now, I have a small little square right next to Rob's head, so this is what we'll do for this video. But hopefully with the next video we'll do it with split screen. But bear with us because Finding Dory is the movie they want to review for you guys. And watching that trailer for this movie, I was looking forward to it, but I wasn't crazy about it. Rob, what are your thoughts on the trailer when it first came out?
When it first came out, I'm like, oh, they're doing another one? Like 13 years later?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't excited, but I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I think it was the sequel that nobody really asked for. Whereas, like Toy Story, right? I mean, that was so good that, I mean, people were talking about for a sequel, something like that. But with Finding Nemo, the first one was so good. It's like, where else can you go from there, right? And
yeah, I was happy with how it ended.
You're what?
I was happy with how it ended.
Yeah.
I didn't think it needed a sequel.
It was perfect, yeah. And with kind of like Monsters Inc. I think Monsters Inc. was actually perfectly ended too. And then Monsters U came out, and you're kind of like it's not bad. It's not like great either, you know. But
yeah.
With this movie, I can say that I was pleasantly surprised because this movie, while I don't think it's as great as the first one, I think the first one actually it blows it out of the water. I think, no pun intended. But Finding Dory, there is a story to be told. I mean, really quick, the plot is that she gets like these little visions in her head, like little bits and pieces of her past, or of her family, her mom and dad, where she came from. And once she like has these little fragmented memories kind of replaced back into her mind, she, wants to go on another adventure. And so she drags Marlin and Nemo on with them. And they go for a very short-lived adventure in the ocean, but most of the adventure is taking place at an aquarium. Well, it's not really called an aquarium, it's like a rehabilitation center, right? Something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, basically a place where if like injured fish and sea animals, they get taken to this little place to, basically get worked on and healed by doctors and then get released back into the ocean. Yeah. So that is the basic synopsis of this movie. Now, really fast, I want to say right off the bat, Ellen DeGeneres, that's a little tongue twister for me. I think that she did a really great job voice acting. I think everybody that was in the first movie, they did it great again in this movie. And what I liked about this movie is I didn't rely too much on the first movie, because that's something you can easily do. You can just be like, yo, remember us? We're the sea turtles. Hey, remember us? We're the pigeons. Or not the pigeons, the seagulls going, my, right? But they didn't, they did have elements of the first movie, but that wasn't like, hey, remember these great moments? Like, let's just take over the entire movie with that. Like, they limited a lot of what we loved from the first movie and brought us a fresh enough take for Dory and her story. And so, speaking of a fresh take, there are new characters. And Rob, what would you like about the new characters, or didn't like?
I actually enjoyed them all. I like the seals. I think they're seals, right?
Yes, yeah.
The octopus dude, the septopus, he was great. The new whales they were pretty fun.
Yeah, I liked everybody. I liked pretty much everybody in the new cast. My favorite for me is the octopus guy, voiced by Ed O'Neill. And I mean, I won't say what he does, but let's just say he's very good at hiding. And just watching him and Dory interact with one another, it's a very good treat because they're just so opposites of one another. And it's very great to watch the chemistry. And this movie starts off, and I was kind of getting annoyed of Dory in the beginning, which, I mean, I forget that I remember that she forgets everything, but in the beginning it kind of seems like they were playing that a little bit too much, I think, and so it was kind of annoying a bit for them to constantly just having her forget stuff and having people just be like, you just said that, but it's like at the same time that's I think the movie did what it's meant to do with the characters. It would be annoying in real life if somebody was like that, and I was affected by that. I thought she was annoying in the very beginning, but luckily that they did very minimally in the beginning, just to kind of get out of the way, and then as she goes on her adventure, she still forgets stuff. But that was the main thing I was worried about, because Dory was a great secondary character in Finding Nemo. So what can you do with her? And I mean, Minions didn't do that great on their own. You know, usually side characters don't do great on their own movie, but with this movie, I felt that it's very fast paced. There was a lot of jokes for both kids and adults, and there are some touching moments, but I would say there weren't as many as the first one. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, there weren't as many touching moments because she's already an adult looking for her family. I mean, it's not as impactful as, you know, the father looking for a lost son who was kidnapped. Isn't that impactful? But this did have some darker moments in it than I think the first one did. Like, towards the end of the movie. Like, there's a really, really dark moment, and I'm like, I actually felt for her for a second.
Yeah, I felt that. I think that this movie was a little bit too fast-paced for its own good. I mean, the fast pace makes it enjoyable to watch because there's just things happening constantly and constantly. And at the same time, I felt the movie was kind of rushed at the end. I think you said when we were talking earlier that it might have had a little bit too many multiple endings. What do you think about that?
Yeah, like, I felt like it ended with her family. Maybe that's how I thought it should have ended. And then they went back, and then kind of ended again, and then had the final ending, which is kind of just pulled down, blacked out.
It's like the fish version of the Return of the King ending, right?
Yeah.
In Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, just like, when's the movie going to end? But like for me, I just kind of felt that it just ends, and it just kind of ends in a not an awkward, but just kind of abruptly ends. Where I didn't feel thoroughly satisfied with it, and you can kind of tell because once the end credits kind of came up, everyone was kind of like, okay, we should probably go now, you know, and just kind of like left, you know. So, I mean, like I said before, this movie I think is really good, and then there are some elements in it that are pretty original, considering the source material where it came from the first movie. There's a lot of laughs to be had. There are some touching moments, but not enough to like thoroughly grab you. I think the new character additions are very great, and I hope there's no more of these movies though for Dory and all of them. I mean, like it's kind of like Jurassic Park. Okay, you already did 2 big adventures. Like where else can you go from here? I'm pretty sure somebody can think of something. I just really hope that it just stays 2 for 2. That's what I'm hoping. Alright guys, that's our quick thoughts on this movie. We did like it, and there is much enjoyment to be had in this movie, even though it's not as good as the first one. But that being said, I would say, you know, watch it in theaters, and I would say that it's a good movie to, you know, if you have a family, you know, take your kids to, boyfriend and girlfriend. It'll be a nice, cute date for you guys. If you're by yourself, just, you know, just tell everybody else that you're here with friends, so they won't judge you. But I mean, it's a good movie to watch. I think you should watch it in theaters. Support Pixar because Pixar needs it, and well, Pixar doesn't need the support, but you know, I mean, I just feel that lately Pixar hasn't been up to par recently. I mean, besides Inside Out, like The Good Dinosaur, you know, Cars 2. Just I don't know. I just want Pixar once again to be just, you know, home run after home run after home run, and I think that, you know, Finding Dory and Inside Out are 2 great pieces that are making them in the right direction again. Alright guys, that's our quick thoughts on Finding Dory. What are you guys' thoughts on this movie? If you've seen it already, were you guys excited to see it or not? And whatever it is, comment below, let us know. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at critic_and_fan. Also follow us on our YouTube channel. And once again guys, this will be like hopefully our last video like this. We will just do a small little itty bitty vertical dot of me right next to Rob's head. But hopefully we'll have a better production value for you next time. But yeah, we just want...
If you know any apps that can help us out, let us know.
Cool. Alright guys, thanks once again, and also subscribe.